So in this video, I'm going to do a quick unboxing of the Bauer corded jigsaw, as well as demonstrate cutting a few different materials and give a quick review at the end. Okay, I got this jigsaw on sale. I think Bauer had it 10% off, so I think this came $55 normal price and I got it for about $50. Jigsaw right here, really good finish, nice paint job, different settings right here. It's got a locking button, so you could lock it and use once you depress it, and to undo it, it looks like you just click it. Looks like it does have a laser right here. Cord's kind of short, it's probably a 6-footer. All this looks good. Looks like this probably just goes right here somehow like this. That way you could either plug in a vacuum or a bag or something right here to catch the dust. Oh, never mind, it goes right here. Didn't see that, okay. And so this is just your distance from an edge right here. So it looks like you can clamp it down with these. So I did pick up some of the jigsaw blades that, I think this is the Warrior brand, it's not the Bauer brand. Otherwise I wouldn't have been able to use a coupon. Right, so I'm just gonna use a wood blade right here, a general purpose one. So this does take a T-shank. I think the other is a U-shank, but this does say it takes a T-shank, and it does say it was toolless. So I don't know how to install this exactly. So I'm guessing this just slides right here. Looks like you pivot it, and I'm guessing the blade just goes in. I'm gonna take a quick break and review the manual to make sure I do this correctly. Okay, I read the manual and I was doing it correctly. It's just hard to get in there. So basically you just rotate this like a normal reciprocating saw, and it allows for this to go in. But you have to really push it in there on this one at least for it to catch, and you might have to wiggle it a little bit like this. And this roller here gets in the way on this, but as long as it gets in there and it's secure, then it's okay. And of course, just flip this back down. I also read the manual that this affects the orbit, so this is basically just pure reciprocating action. If you change it on here, it starts going in a orbital motion like this. The higher the number, the larger the orbit. And this affects the dust chute right here, so you could close it completely by doing that, or if you attach it to a hose or something right here, you could open it up just by flicking that. Here's the laser, so it's a nice rubber covered button. And so let's plug it in and see how it does. You can see it on the hand, you can see it here as well. So it's a pretty good laser. Very noticeable and very tight. It's not so wide that it'll blur on the workpiece. So let's give it a squeeze and see how it does. I already tested it earlier, and what I noticed is that it's slightly crooked on this roller right here, so it really digs in on the blade. And this is not using it on workpiece, it's just running it with no load. So I'm going to go and do it right now, and this is very loud for a saw, so I'm going to put on hearing protection. So once it stopped, I'm going to show the orbit feature. So I'm going to go to 1. See the blade, it's moving in a very slight orbit, and now I'm going to go all the way to the maximum orbit, and this is more noticeable. You watch the little guide right here, it's going back and forth. And it does say do not use this on metal or any hard material, obviously, because in the orbit it'll be chattering the teeth and shear the teeth off very easily. So I'm going to make sure and leave that in pure reciprocation. So those are the basic features and running it. So now I'm going to go actually cut a piece of oak hardwood. So for this demonstration, I have my lines right here, and then right here that I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut these two first, and then come right here, and then I'll have two separate pieces. Let's get started. And here you can see the laser right here, lined up right on the line. Also, I didn't show this earlier, but you could actually angle this to make a miter cut by doing this, flipping this back. It's kind of difficult. Once it clicks, you could then rotate it. There's this little pin right here, if you can see it. So that's why you have to slide the entire shoe back. So you slide it back, and then you should be able to rotate it like that. And of course, just line it back up at 0 and slide it forward. You see that little tooth right there is in place right there, and then you could lock it in place by just pushing this down, and the angle measurements are right off right here. It goes all the way to 6 speed, so I'm going to put it at the 3 halfway and see how it cuts. Again, this is the general purpose blade. Probably should use a finer tooth for hardwood. Thoughts using this is the laser is definitely not centered to the blade, so that could be an issue. I mean, it's a good indicator of where you're going to cut, but it's definitely off about an 1/8 inch, so that's not good. Also, you know, I mentioned this earlier, is that the blade really rubs along the side of this. Either the spindle is crooked or this little guide right here where this roller is slightly crooked, but it definitely rubs. It appears that the blade is perpendicular to the shoe here. I locked it back in place, so at the 0 position it seems to be okay. There's a lot of chatter. There might have been a user error on my part. Maybe I wasn't pushing correctly with constant force, just a workpiece, but it was definitely chattering a lot. But all in all, it fits pretty good. I like the variable speed feature, and the laser's good to see roughly where you're going to start, even though it's definitely not centered perfectly. And that's it. Thanks for watching.